Good evening, everyone. I'm meteorologist Cassie Knoll, and this is your 10 weather impact recap for the week. Let's start with a look at some of the biggest weather stories from across the country. Ongoing drought and windy conditions have firefighters in the Northeast busy as they work to contain brush fire breakouts. Thankfully, they have gotten the upper hand on one of the biggest of those blazes, the Jennings Creek wildfire, which is burning along the New York and New Jersey state line. NBC's Emily Ikeda has the latest.
Firefighters gaining ground on the Jennings Creek fire, now nearly 90% contained in both New York and New Jersey. But the National Weather Service warning dry, windy conditions across the Northeast remain a threat to spread the flames and ignite new fires.
We have another wind event coming, so obviously there's concern there.
Officials say the wildfire is the largest in New York in 16 years, with fire crews from as far as Montana and Colorado on the ground and in the air working to manage it. Helicopters with New York's National Guard dropping more than 50,000 gallons of water.
It's very rocky, very steep, makes it very difficult for us to get hand crews in, much less even trying to get engines or UTVs into a lot of spots.
Over the weekend, flames jumping containment lines because of the wind, prompting voluntary evacuations still in effect that impacted over 160 homes in the neighboring town of Warwick. More than half of the Northeast remains under moderate drought, with red flag warnings on Saturday impacting over 40 million people. Crews managing localized brush fires in other states like Massachusetts and Connecticut. Now this morning, with the fire threat far from gone, officials hope rain in the near forecast will help them get the job done.
We're trying to control and contain Mother Nature.
Last week, flooding was a concern for many coastal areas of the Carolinas and Florida. This is video from downtown Jacksonville where the king tides brought floodwaters into the streets. A king tide is a high tide that is higher than normal due to the alignment of the earth, moon, and sun. Strong onshore winds and a full moon helped bring even more water into normally dry areas. And the final sunset of the year took place on Monday the 18th in Ukakvik, Alaska, formerly known as Barrow. This community is the northernmost town in the United States and in all of North America. This is a live look at the town right now. Being north of the Arctic Circle, they will not have a sunrise for the next 2 months until January 22nd of 2025. On that day, the sun will be up for an astounding 48 minutes. For only the second time in a decade, the Cascade Mountains in Washington state are under a blizzard warning. Here's Leah Pizzetti with more.
Even before the National Weather Service's blizzard warning officially began, the wind started howling on Stevens Pass.
Oh, wow. Yeah, yep. You can tell it's starting to build for sure.
Should probably get our boots off and get warm.
Backcountry skiers and snowboarders came up before the winter weather kicked in.
The clouds look like they're kind of rolling in too over here.
And got out just in time.
We're getting out of here just before the storm comes in, which was the goal.
This current storm,
a bomb cyclone, I hear,
is helping cause a rare blizzard warning. Just the second one in more than 10 years. The first was back in January.
I kind of do remember that, and I remember being really surprised that it was 10 years. Is this considered a blizzard warning?
The criteria is essentially two main factors: prolonged wind, sustained wind or frequent gusts at 35 miles per hour or greater, and considerable falling snow or blowing dust that causes less than a quarter-mile visibility for 3 or more hours.
We don't like driving through Stevens when there's winds.
That wind, one of the central focuses of this storm. Drivers like Chris and Dean getting over the pass before the worst of it hits.
To me, it's important to be wary of what's going on as far as the weather.
The nasty weather in the Pacific Northwest is being caused by a combination of a bomb cyclone and an atmospheric river. Neither of those are new weather terms, so let's break this down for you. A bomb cyclone is a cyclone that strengthens rapidly, and in this case, you can see that swirl just off of the Pacific Northwest. That system strengthened so rapidly, it actually achieved basically the strength of a major hurricane, and that's part of what whipped the winds into parts of the Pacific Northwest. And in addition to that, what we're looking at here is the precipitable water. It's the amount of moisture in the atmosphere that can be rained out, and that's what you see right there with the blue colors coming right into Northern California and into parts of Oregon. That's what we call an atmospheric river. Basically, it's a plume of moisture being carried all the way from back near Hawaii into the west coast of the United States. And that's what's going on right now. But they have another atmospheric river that's going to be impacting this area as we go into next week. Now, we've gone through the weekend. We can see more of that moisture just pummeling parts of California, and another system is building up as we go into the middle of next week to impact the same areas. This is something that's specific to the West Coast. We don't have atmospheric rivers here in East Tennessee. Now, back here in East Tennessee, we have a chance for some wintry weather in our forecast later this week, but it's nothing like what happened at this time 72 years ago. On November 21st and 22nd of 1952, 18.2 inches of snow fell in Knoxville. For reference, we had 8 to 10 inches of snow in January, and it paralyzed the area for a week. Imagine what would happen if we had double that amount. Well, that's what happened in 1952. The heavy snow happened as Kentucky was set to play Tennessee in Neyland Stadium. Now, it cost the UT Athletics Department $1,000 to remove the snow from the field, and they even paid a few students $1.50 an hour to help out. That game ended in a 14-14 tie. But while I was looking up details about this snow event, I actually came across another interesting tidbit of information. Just 2 years before the 1952 record snowfall, the Kentucky-Tennessee game in 1950 had also been impacted by snow. The Great Appalachian Storm of November 1950 brought Arctic air and heavy snow to East Tennessee. Knoxville received 5.5 inches of snow the day before the game, and on the 25th, when the Cats came to town, 45,000 fans braved temperatures in the single digits and low teens to watch the Vols grab a 7-0 victory over Kentucky. The high was only 14 degrees, and there were 17 fumbles during that game. Kudos to those 45,000 fans that came out to watch that game back in the day. Now back to the current forecast. We have a big pattern change coming as we go through this week. So we already have a cold front moving through the area, and that cold air is going to stay in place through Thursday and on Friday, bringing us the coolest temperatures we've seen since about April. And in addition to the cool temperatures, we also are going to have breezy winds, making it feel even cooler outside. Now, those chilly temperatures linger into the day on Saturday, but we start to see improvement into the day on Sunday. Early next week, another little dip in the jet stream may bring us some rainfall, maybe as we go into the day on Tuesday. And looking ahead to the Thanksgiving holiday, now this is just one run of one model a week in advance, but see that dip right there? That could be a shot of cooler air and a chance for the potential of heavy rain as well as gusty winds right around that Thanksgiving holiday. So if you're already planning for your meal that week, you might want to do indoor things on that day. Of course, we'll keep you updated on the very latest of that forecast. Now, this shot of cool air that's going to be coming into our area is going to give us the first chance of having freezing temperatures this season. We typically would reach 32 degrees by around November 2nd or so. But by waiting until we're getting into the November 22nd, 3rd, or 4th time frame, this could be one of the latest freezes on record for our area. So stay tuned. We'll let you know if we actually end up achieving that. And this has a big impact on both the growing season for plants around the area, the allergy season, and the migration pattern of local animals too. So this is a big deal that our freeze has not happened yet so far this year and is one of the latest on records. And now let's get a quick look at our 7-day forecast for what we're going to be seeing. Into Thursday and Friday, both days are weather impact alert days because of the chilly temperatures and the breezy winds that will make those highs in the 40s feel like the 30s all day long. In addition to that, there is a chance for a little bit of wintry weather in the high elevations of our viewing area as well. You can find more of that information on WBIR.com. On Saturday for the game, going to be chilly if you're tailgating early, and even during the afternoon, there's probably still going to be some clouds, and highs only get into the low 50s with a breeze, so you'll want to bundle up for that Vols game on Saturday. And then we'll see a warming trend with highs back into the mid 60s as we go into early next week, and we'll also be watching for that next chance of precipitation to move into our area. Remember, you can always have your forecast in the palm of your hand with the 10 News app. It's free to download in the App Store.